Welcome back, my beautiful friends. You're listening to A Moment of Zen right here in the tri-state area on 710 WOR, the voice of New York, iHeartRadio. I'm your host, Zen Sams. Coming up in our Trailblazers segment, brought to you by Caldwell Soames, we're featuring the incredible Christophe Lafontant, motivational speaker, disability awareness influencer, and author of One Man, Three Hearts, Nine Lives, a story of hope, resilience, and survival. While Christoph was born healthy and without any apparent issues, doctors were convinced that he wouldn't make it past 7 years old after collapsing in his New Jersey home one evening, discovering he was in heart failure with complete heart block. They had no idea what caused this. 3 decades later, not only is Chris still here, but he has defied all the odds placed against him. Christoph survived a pacemaker implantation, 2 heart transplants, a kidney transplant, gallbladder removal, lung collapse, pain medication drug overdose, respiratory failure, thyroid cancer, a pulmonary embolism, and a tracheotomy. Then, at the age of 27, if all that wasn't enough, he was diagnosed with a rare genetic muscular disease known as myofibrillar myopathy, for which there is no treatment or cure. The disease progressively attacks the various muscle groups of a person's body. And in this case, it was discovered that the disease was also responsible for initially attacking his heart muscle at the tender age of 6 years old. Now, in the last 5 years, he has lost usage of about 80% of his bodily function. He is currently fully wheelchair dependent and requires the assistance of a full-time 24/7 personal aide who resides with him. Today, he's here to chat disability awareness, defying all odds, his secrets to remaining so positive, and his plans for 2023. Welcome to the show, superstar.
Thank you so much. It's such an honor to be here with you.
Oh, you are so inspirational, my friend, and motivational and full of life. So, thank you for being here and spreading so much positivity and helping others. God bless you.
Oh, it's my pleasure. Thank you.
Now, despite all the reasons you can choose to give up, you are the brightest light. What drives you? And do you really have 3 hearts?
I get that question a lot. So I do not actually have 3 hearts currently, but over the course of my life, as you mentioned, because of my 2 heart transplants, so I have the heart that I was originally born with, and then my heart was replaced twice, once at the age of 16 and once at the age of 21. So I am currently on my 3rd heart, hence the name One Man, Three Hearts. And as far as my driving force, I have to say, as cliche as it may sound, I am surrounded by just so much love and support. And, between my family, my friends, my community, they give me a lot of different reasons to live and keep going.
It's true. In a recent study, community was the number one reason for a person's happiness and positive community relationships. So that's important. Now,
Yes.
at the age of 27, you were diagnosed with this rare genetic muscular disease known as, I hope I'm pronouncing it right, myofibrillar myopathy.
Correct.
And there's no cure or treatment. Apparently, through research, I've learned that this progressively attacks various muscle groups of your body. Now, what are your biggest health issues currently, and what is the prognosis?
Currently, I am dealing with the muscle fibers of my body have been continually breaking down. And so I am constantly getting weaker over time. And, that affects a lot of my independence, the things that I'm able to do for myself. Again, as you mentioned, that's why I do have a 24/7 living caregiver. His name is Emmanuel. And ever since he came into my life, he's been a real blessing and a godsend. I would say that for me, currently, the biggest challenge has been losing my independence and, not being able to really do simple, basic tasks that a lot of people take for granted for myself. I am no longer able to groom myself. I'm no longer able to shower by myself or get dressed. Eating has become very difficult for me recently. And so a lot of those things, believe it or not, as hard and challenging as they are physically, the biggest battle is the mental aspect and just kind of fighting through anxiety, depression, things that a lot of us go through anyway, just because of life. And so to have all these issues on top of that, it's very challenging for me on a day-to-day basis just to kind of fight through those different obstacles. Um, I would also say that, I'm very blessed that my internal organs at this time are all doing very well. My heart, since transplant, it's been about 22 years, and, the heart couldn't be doing better. God bless my angel donors. Unfortunately, I am back on dialysis after my transplanted kidney failed. So I have been back on dialysis now for about 5 years, and that can kind of, have its effects on the body as well. But overall, I would say, I'm doing the best I can considering, and just really trying to maintain my mental health and positivity, as you said.
Well, you're doing a great job,
Thank you.
regardless of if you see it in yourself or not. Not only are you a pillar in the community, but you are such an example of a positive outlook on life. Talking about mental health, I mean, you are the epitome of proper mental health, because keeping it together, even if you have a dark moment, a dark thought, you come out winning, and you've always come out winning. And that's the difference with somebody with your outlook on life versus somebody who has completely given up. Now,
Yes.
you're back on dialysis, you're waiting a second kidney transplant, your blood type O, I know that for anyone out there listening. But these are all the very reasons why you could have given up, but you didn't. So let's talk about what motivates you. So you currently work very closely with the pediatric transplant team at New York Presbyterian Children's Hospital, and you provide counseling for children awaiting heart transplants, as well as organizing events and toy drive donations year round. In addition, you're a certified health and life coach with clients from all around the world. Christophe, you're simply incredible.
Thank you.
This feels like a full schedule, all while fighting these health battles. How do you keep up, and what is your stamina like?
Well, I will say that, for me, energy wise, I am, like you said, full of life. And despite, all the different challenges that I have physically, I wake up every morning, feeling ready to go, and I feel energized. And I will say that I am very blessed because not only do I have the support of my family, friends, and community, but also now complete strangers. And I think a lot of us in life, we're searching for a purpose and a reason, and for me, I have found that helping others through my own struggles has become my purpose. And, I receive countless messages, and, so many people that I come across will tell me how much I've inspired or motivated them, or in some cases, saved their lives. And for me, that is such a driving force because it gives all of my suffering meaning. And at the end of the day, it gives me something to live for. And so now, working with the children that are waiting for transplant, or even adults and other people that are dealing with things that aren't even necessarily medically related, but just to know that I can have any kind of an impact or to help them get through their own circumstances is just such, it really, gives me a sense of purpose. And for me, when I wake up in the morning and I don't necessarily feel like, pushing myself, I find that pushing myself for others is what gets me through.
Oh, it's so important to pay it forward,
Yeah.
and paying it forward is it's everlasting. It's a domino effect. But what it does to one's soul to see the happiness that you brought to somebody else, that's the rewarding part. Now, 6 years ago, you chronicled your life story in a self-published memoir titled One Man, Three Hearts, Nine Lives, which is available for purchase on Amazon, Kindle, and Barney's across the board. As a result, you began a career doing motivational presentations at schools and libraries and churches. What is the biggest life lesson that you have learned, and what advice do you have for the disability community watching and listening?
I really learned that there's so much in life that we tend to overlook and take for granted. I always say to people that despite the challenges that came along with my illness, I'm also very grateful for what it has taught me. Because a lot of us, right, we go through life living on autopilot, and we tend to miss the beautiful moments, or, not really pay attention to the little things. And so I have learned that a lot of the things that I once took for granted, like walking, going to the bathroom on my own, eating, Even something as simple as sitting outside and feeling the sun and the wind on my skin. These are all things that now I fully embrace, as well as the people that are in my life. I don't take the people and my loved ones that are around me for granted. And again, as humans, it's very easy to kind of get caught up and forget to appreciate those things. And so I'm very grateful to my condition, because I feel like I'm living life with my eyes open now, in a way that would not have necessarily had I not gotten sick. And so I really, when I speak to people, not even in just presentations, but in my everyday conversation, I really try to kind of ground people and make them realize that there are just so many different blessings around you. You just have to be paying attention. And it's very easy to get, swallowed up by the dark moments. And
well said.
Yes, but it's
well said.
But we need to really kind of try and refocus and regroup and just realize that we're blessed.
Yes, and success, as Charles Lindbergh said, success is not measured by what a man accomplishes, but by the opposition he has encountered and the courage with which he has maintained the struggle against overwhelming odds. And that's something that I always live by. All right, we have about a minute and a half left. Let's talk about your feature film. So if you could quickly promote this, let's chat plans for 2023. Your very talented production team at Sugar Beach Digital. You've recently executive produced a documentary short called It Started with the Heart, based on your life story. And you're currently in the middle of production for your full-length documentary feature. In under a minute, I know I'm putting you up against the clock. Tell me about this feature.
So we put together the documentary short about a year ago, just to test the market and see if my story had any value and worth sharing with the rest of the world. And we came to the conclusion that it indeed does. So we are now currently in the process of raising the rest of the funds throughout 2023, looking for corporate sponsorships and investors to help us to achieve my mission and goal, to just share my story ultimately with the world, to help inspire and motivate people that may be fighting through their own struggles and motivate them to never ever give up.
I love it. Well, listen, we are out of time, but I just wanted to say thank you so much for coming on, for inspiring us, for inspiring our listeners and our viewers, and coming onto our platform and sharing your story with such transparency and grace.
Thank you. I really appreciate the opportunity.
You bet. Guys, you definitely have to check out Christophe Lafontant. Definitely go to his website, oneman3hearts.com. You can also check out theheartfilm.com. He's all over social media on the gram at The Heart Film, or you can check out One Man, Three Hearts on the handle. And remember, the tests we face in life's journey are not to reveal our weaknesses, but to help us discover our inner strengths. We can only know how strong we are when we strive and thrive beyond the challenges we face. All the energy in the universe is evenly present in all places at the same time. We don't get energy, we release energy. And the triggering mechanism to release energy is desire. When you have a strong desire to do something, you will always have the energy to do it. That was our Trailblazers segment, brought to you by Caldwell Soames. You're listening to A Moment of Zen right here on 710 WOR, the voice of New York, iHeartRadio. We'll be right back after this.
A Moment of Zen is brought to you by Caldwell Soames Incorporated, investing globally in transformative businesses like Original Digital Corporation, or ODC. ODC develops advanced consumer and commercial fintech solutions such as OG Pay, which will transform the way you manage your money. From sending and receiving money globally for free, paying for goods and services in person and online, pay bills, buy and sell digital currencies, all while earning interest. OG Pay is easy to set up, FDIC insured, and your information is secured. Check out ogpay.com.